UvsU Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Horn, and I'm here with Justin Beavers. Some of you may know him as Ronnie Ron, president of the wrestling company called Extreme Fight World. How you doing today, Justin?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good.
Good
Thank
being
you.
here. Give a little salute here.
Thanks for having me.
No
Thanks
problem.
for having me.
Oh, thank you for bringing me in, man. Appreciate you having me.
No, trust me, we're thankful. So let's get right into it, man. How'd you get into wrestling?
Always a fan of wrestling growing up. As a kid, watched Hulk Hogan, Big Boss Man, all that growing up to the point where I was wrecking the house as a kid. I was the only child growing up, so me and my wrestling buddy were the ones that would wrestle me in Ultimate Warrior. And my dad had to kind of slow down the tape one time to show me that, Hulk Hogan may or may not have really hit his head on the steps.
Yeah.
And kind of explained to me how wrestling was. So even when I learned it was like a show, I still loved it. So growing up, I loved wrestling, and just kind of always stayed with it. Some kids, I loved all sports, but some kids dialed in soccer.
Right.
Some kids dialed in football. I dialed in wrestling.
Into the pro wrestling world?
Yeah.
So did you wrestle yourself?
Yes, I've wrestled a couple matches when I was younger. The independent wrestling scene, though, as you know, it's very... what's the best way to say this respectfully? Can be very tough at times with certain promoters. So I trained professionally on our roster now. This guy who I hate, he's one of my good friends in real life though, Dio Salvador, aka Miguel. We went to high school together. I started off doing backyard wrestling. Pretty much all of us have done that. So me and him of the whole group are the two ones that went and got professionally trained. At the time, the original EFW, Extreme Futuristic Wrestling, before me and Nick ever owned anything, we went and got trained. The training center was actually a racquetball court right here in Parma, Ohio. And the head trainer at the time was a old school wrestler here, well respected in Cleveland, named Lou Marconi. Very old school guy.
Okay.
Did not play around at training. There was no laughing, giggling, having fun. It was get in here, do this. If you mess up, you're getting yelled at. Figure it out.
Yeah, very, very old school.
Very old school. Which I wish there was kind of a little bit more trainers like that nowadays. Like Josh is kind of our trainer at EFW is kind of a little bit old school. Even then, he's really still nice on the students and jokes, but like he's got that old school mentality.
He does.
Like don't f around in here. We're going. So trained with Lou Marconi for a little bit. Him and the owner of the company, then John Rotten, got into whatever it was, and then they had Josh Prohibition come in. We didn't really see eye to eye. Him and Dios, they seen eye to eye. He was, what do they call it, straight edge at the time. Josh Prohibition is, I think he still is, whatever. I was a young party kid, so it didn't see eye to eye in a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I walked away from that training, started doing some matches with the same company because they got rid of that whole training stuff too, and I started doing matches with that company. EFW switched to CCW, and I did a couple main events, did a couple matches, did some cage matches, some death matches, some regular matches, and just didn't get paid. There's certain times where promoters will book you, and that's in music, that's anything, but in wrestling, it's very prevalent at times. Leaking blood, got scars on me, and wasn't getting paid. So kind of made me step away from the business for a while, and lose a little bit of taste for it. But I've always had a love for wrestling, even the back scene of it, the ring, all of it, the whole production of it. I've always loved.
I love that. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with your first gimmick?
Backyard or in the ring?
Either or.
Backyard. It was a thing called Assassin J. Maybe because I was a juggalo back in the day, like before, like it was cool. Then now they are who they are now.
Yeah.
But just for that, like some ICP shirts came out to it. Did backyard wrestling, and then when I got professionally trained, I was just hanging around. We were always partying around, like the owner of the company, John. We'd always go out. Our buddy Jay, Nick was with another company at this time actually for a little bit, but we'd always go out, kick it, and his name was John Rotten. We actually kind of looked alike a little bit, both taller dudes, and we just one day said we're gonna make a gimmick of me being his little brother, Ronnie Rotten, and it just kind of stuck, man.
And,
none of us really talked to that guy no more. He's kind of a real big piece of trash. my guy had a kid and dipped out. So allegedly, I'm not claiming anything. Heard this from multiple people, but he left the trademark open, and then that's where we kind of took EFW over. So I've met my business partner at 14 years old right now, Nick.
Okay. So you guys go way back.
We go way back, yeah. One of my best friends since 6th grade, Brent, the judge, was in EFW, Brent Butternuts.
Okay.
He was in I'm sure you remember. You're the age of me and the little all of us at this age. AOL, America Online.
Oh yeah.
Chat room, Cleveland chat room. Nick was actually in there advertising tickets for sale for a wrestling show, EFW back in the day. And my buddy bought them. I met up with Nick, got him, and we went to the show. And that's kind of like the moment on that I knew Nick going forward. So, yeah, it was. It's very interesting how it all comes full circle, because I didn't talk. There was like 10 years I didn't talk to Nick. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like no beef or no heat.
That's just life, man. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Well, we were running EFW, which switched to CCW, Cleveland Championship Wrestling, and Nick was a part of that. But then it got to the point where Nick kind of separated himself. There was issues with the owner, again, who I had issues with, that didn't pay me. And Nick actually went and started another company here. I won't give them the grace of saying their name, but let's just say...
that's fair.
It's absolutely insane wrestling out there in the world.
Okay. Yeah. Picking up what you're pointing down.
Yeah, so
yeah.
he was doing that, and obviously CCW stopped, and there was like a 10, 12 year period where I didn't have nothing to do with wrestling, man. Nick kind of got out of the company. Whole situation with that. That's Nick's. If he wants to talk, whatever, whatnot, that's him. But I didn't get back into wrestling until right before COVID. I got tagged in a post on Facebook about a ring. I was actually going to buy it with my buddy and flip it and make a couple stacks real quick, and we just kind of started talking. Got a hold of Nick, and we're like, dude, you want to kind of maybe start a training center or start a company, because we've all been kind of done wrong in the business, and we can teach these kids and people how you should be treated.
Right.
You shouldn't be doing no backyard hillbilly getting treated like you're not a professional. You've trained, you paid for training. You need to be treated like a professional, and that's one of the reasons why UFW started up. And then here we are, 5+ years later. You're a graduated student out there working and champed at other places.
I am. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I mean, that's kind of how, in a nutshell, real fast, that's kind of how EFW started and came back around.
Man, what an origin story.
Yeah. It's there's a little bit more to it than that, but yeah, we basically were gonna flip a ring for a couple bucks and decided to do this the right way. There's too many companies around here that just, I don't want to say take advantage of people, but it's just because they're your student doesn't mean they always work for you for free. Just because they trained with you doesn't mean you tell them that this is part of the business, you got to come work for free. No, you're a professional now. You should be treated like a professional. It's even when you do extra work for WWE and you stand around in a security suit, you're getting paid. They brought you in as a professional. So that's what we want to do. Us at EFW at the training center at our shows, we treat you professionally while having fun and relaxing. As you see, you're backstage with us. So
right, I do see that. Yeah. So would you say with your experience in that background, is that kind of like what gives you the pleasure to then run your own company? Is it to treat your talent the way that it should be treated and kind of try and set the example for those guys?
Yeah, it's not only is the example, it's the production behind it. I mean, you have your own movie company. I love writing kind of storylines. And then one of the things I love is, because I'm very open, I'm not like a closed book where I'm like, it's got to be done this way. When I go backstage, I'll talk to someone like Dios, or I'll talk to a veteran, it's a great mind like J-Rock, and I will, hey, this is kind of the idea I had for this ending. And then they'll go, well, what about this? And then you go, oh, that's actually better than my idea. And I know a lot of promoters who, even though that would happen, they wouldn't swallow their pride and ego. They would go, no, it's done this way, this is what I said.
Yeah.
Or I'll go, oh, that's a better idea. That'll look better on camera. That'll look better. That'll even play more into the storyline that I'm trying to write. And I'll switch the idea up last minute with the boys there if it makes sense. So I kind of just like the whole production side of it, the whole producing, and the whole, like you said, taking care of the kids coming into the business, and even the guys who are trained somewhere that we've had to correct and fix. I want them to feel like they're a part of something, that not just me and Nick own. I want them to feel like this is home.
Right.
It's not just someone that owns this company. It's all of us. We all own. We're a part of this.
Mm-hmm. And you guys definitely give that vibe for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's times you got to put your foot down once in a while, but
yeah.
I mean, dude, it's home. This is home for everyone. It's I didn't feel like my training center was home. I feel like I went there to get, I don't want to say yelled at, but like, it was, you messed up, you were worried, you're like, I'm gonna get reamed out. Where it's not like that here. I don't want you to feel like you can't come here, or if you mess up, you're gonna be treated like you're stupid or like shit. So.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense, especially in like a training center, like when you're learning things and you're trying new things and such, and especially when you're trying to figure out what your gimmick is, what your moveset is, like you're gonna make mistakes.
100%. 100%.
In that realm until you kind of get rid of all the wrinkles with that.
Yeah. Even then, I know a lot of vets out there. The part of the business is making mistakes. You know what it is. You gotta learn how to recover in that ring. You're gonna mess up, but you gotta learn how to recover that mess up real quick, man. Yeah, I miss the in-ring work. I've been there. I've been there. Messed up plenty of times. So, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of professional wrestling as it is. As crazy as that sounds, owning a professional wrestling company, I don't sit here and watch Raw or SmackDown every weekend. I don't watch every AEW show or pay-per-view. I just really focus on my life and our company, and I don't really care about anyone or any other company. I like to stay in our lane and just stay right in our lane only.
Okay, I can appreciate that. So with that being said, kind of piggybacking off of that, with you kind of staying in your lane, what would separate EFW from other companies?
So
like I know before the show we were kind of pitching some ideas and stuff around stuff like
so, that. Before we started, the one thing me and Nick talked about is anyone could throw a wrestling show. My dad could have money and reach out to people and throw a wrestling show. There's still people who aren't trained that do backyard stuff. There's people who've been trained for 20 years. There's people you can get a hold of that will come and wrestle on your show. Even companies that have been around for 15, 20 years. They're throwing every wrestling show every weekend, every other weekend. I don't want to be just a normal wrestling show. I don't want to be just a normal company, and I don't want to get set aside by like most companies who do death matches to be set aside for normal wrestling or real super gimmicky. I wanted us to be a show. Mm-hmm. I wanted you to leave that wrestling show not only going, oh, this is cool wrestling, but I want you to leave that wrestling show going, oh shit, this looked cool. There were lights everywhere. There was smoke. There was, a drone flying around catching crazy footage. There's lights on the curtains and motions the whole time. There's lights going. So our production is what has climbed every year. We've gotten something better and better and better and better, and that's all it's going to be. Every year, I just want to keep climbing production. I want it to be a show when you come in plus wrestling is what I want.
Absolutely. I've definitely seen that with the 2 years I've been with you guys. I've seen like the leaps and the bounds and the jumps that you guys have definitely, the time and the effort you guys have put into like the production value of the show. It's not just, hey, go out there and wrestle, guys. Like it's.
I mean, and you wrestle other companies, and no disrespect to any companies you wrestle for or anything like that. It's just you've seen levels of walking out under pipe and drape to you get told to stand on the ropes for 30 seconds to get a sweet drone shot of you. WWE doesn't even do that. They use a drone to go through the crowd, but like they're not up there close. They're not paying insurance or paying drone people or paying event insurance for this kind of stuff to happen. Or we come out of pocket for that. I can't tell you. It's gonna sound like I'm a bad businessman, but I can't tell you how many shows I've lost money booking my roster, paying people just to grow the company. Like I said, anyone can throw a wrestling show. I can make money if I want to throw a wrestling show.
Yeah.
But I'm growing the company for a production level that's completely different than anywhere you go. And I've had veterans who have gone to massive companies who said, for you guys being a small indie company, you are leaps above and beyond even bigger companies on TV that I've seen. So it's a good thing to hear, and we're just going to keep growing, dude. Just keep growing.
That's awesome. That's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah, man.
So with that, then with running the company, obviously you guys have high ambitions. What's some of the hurdles or some of the cons of running a business?
Dealing with wrestlers and students, they're always fun to try to book and deal with, and things like that. Some people are very professional. Some people are are not. You tell someone, hey, I need your entrance music, I need your promo pictures. Sometimes you gotta hound people, and it's like, brother, be professional. You're booked on a show. I have tons of people in my inbox that want to take your spot.
Yeah.
And you're not being professional, sending pictures and stuff. Pleasing fans, you can't please everyone as it comes with wrestling.
That's true.
You gotta face that. There's just, man, there's a lot backstage that people don't understand about wrestling. It's the production side of it. I mean, you've seen last minute switch ups. You know, it sucks. It sucks. There's a lot of stress to it, but for all the cons, the pros kick in, and it makes it.
Yeah.
It makes it worth losing money. It makes it worth trying to keep building the company up. And as you see, I'm not really going for sponsors right now. Barely any sponsors. I don't want to do that. I'm going to see with a company that's like taking your money just to take your money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want you to see, hey, my company got in front of 300-400 people. Hey, they're getting in front of thousands of views online locally, and this is not what I want to advertise for. Instead of just, here's Mike's auto shop, I got $200 for, and put it on my flyer. Like I don't want to be that company that does that. I want to get big things going and try to just level up. Stay in our lane.
Yeah,
and level
I can
up.
respect that. And without pulling the curtain like too far back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know wrestling fans are smart, and you know they know the whole gimmick and so on. But I don't think that even like your average fan knows the overall like production that goes into a
Backstage.
show, like the planning and bringing in, like you said, like bringing in the talent and making sure that the date works and the venue works and all the equipment, the lighting, the audio, the video.
I mean, you know how it is, dude.
You know.
It's a whole show. You gotta have. The ref is just as important as the wrestlers, you know. Like the wrestlers are out there putting in the grunt work. You know, we're out there beating our body up. You know, doing the actual show part of it. You know, but you know how it is. If there's not a good ref, you look dumb in the match. You could do great, but you look dumb if you go for a pin and there's a 10-second count before the ref gets down.
Yeah, right.
The commentators, we have Josh. We have Scott. We have Norm. They're part of the show. I watch our shows back, and even if it wasn't our shows, I listen to them and I laugh every time. I'm hysterically laughing when they make fun of me.
Yeah.
The things we do different, like the judges. That's another thing we're doing different. Saying earlier, as you know, we do judges' decisions. We do knockouts. So that's another thing. We're just trying to be different and stay in our lane, where that whole production has to come together into one big ball. And like you said, not a lot of people who are in the seats understand that. They just think it's two guys out there that did a match.
And that's it.
Either they had a good match or a sucky match. They don't see the whole thing on it where George is yelling, "Clear! I want to hit you with the drone." They don't see.
Right.
They don't see the whole backstage aspect to it, which I don't think they should. I think WWE kind of messed up divulging, diving into that a little bit too much recently when they went to Netflix, showing like.
Yes, I agree with that.
I didn't really like that.
For a talent and a wrestler, I appreciated it because I was like, okay, cool. Like, let me see what the big company's doing behind the scenes. But then also at the same time, being a wrestler currently, it's kind of like, now why did you show that? Like
Dude, don't give the magic tricks up. Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Like, don't take some of the magic away.
Yeah.
And I just saw a recent interview with like CM Punk, who was talking about that, and he was like, yeah, like I if it was me. Speaking of like CM Punk, he was like, I would have showed like a little bit, but I wouldn't pull the curtain completely back because again, you take that magic away, and you actually touched base on it earlier. You're not gonna make everybody happy. Like everybody has in their mind how a match should go or how things should go or storylines should go. So you're never gonna make everybody happy. And like when he spoke about that, I was like, yeah, dude, that's spot on. That's 100%.
Yeah, no matter what you do.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not going to make everyone happy. No, I mean, just booking my normal, like even booking you, I had fans in my inbox trying to tell me certain things, like you should have him do this or you should turn him bad guy, and I'm like, let Kyle do his thing. He's new. Let's let Kyle do his thing out here, man. But like it's exactly what it is. You can't please everyone. So no matter what, there's always going to be that con to this business. But I look at it as a pro.
Oh yeah,
I get excited when I piss people off. So
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, any type of reaction, whether it's good or bad, it's a reaction.
Yeah.
So you're getting some type of feedback from the fans, one way or the other. So then, with that being said, so obviously, like, I work for the company, but if I was not working for EFW and I just randomly hit you up in the inbox and was like, hey, I see you guys are crushing these shows, I see this going on, and I throw my information at you, what are you looking for from talent that reaches out to you? Like what do you look for? What kind of catches your eye? What's some of the green flags or some of the red flags with the talent?
So it's the stuff I get in my inbox sometimes is crazy. You get everything from people that look like they took a promo picture on their Motorola Razr phone from 1998 to highlight footage that I will say for being a professional wrestler, do not make a highlight tape. If you're going to make a highlight tape, make sure you have matches with that highlight tape, because any true promoter will know that's not me seeing you how you work a match. I'm not seeing how you're bumping and feeding. I'm not seeing where, if you're knowing your ring space or how long it's taken your mind to do certain moves that come around, or how loud you're talking or calling spots. And I would say if you want to get at promoter's eye, you want to send promo pictures with the photo.
Okay.
So don't just say, hey, here's a link to my promo photos. Send a couple good shots of your promos, high quality, professional. Have links to a couple of your matches, not just one good match that you had. Get a couple good matches on there. Even if you're green, you can put a couple matches on there. Mm-hmm. And if you make, like I said, if you make a highlight reel, they need to be with full matches. And put that in there. Hey, here's my highlight reel, but here's a couple links to my full matches so you can check that out. So everyone kind of says the same thing default in your inbox. It's, hey, this is me. I'm from here. Love to work with you guys. Seen this. Like kind of like just how you said. But what catches my eye is I instantly, instead of the words, I see your photo. And I go, oh, that's pretty cool. I like the gimmick or something. Also include, what city, state you're coming from. I would even put your age down there, your experience on there. But don't ramble too much. Don't throw up on me. I need to see the good quality promo pictures and a couple YouTube links, and then I will go from the rest.
Yeah.
You can tell me whatever you want. But when I see that you're being professional and you're doing those things, that's what will make me stand out and look at you more compared to a local guy from Akron saying, hey, I'm trained by this person. Here I am, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, cool, dude. So is 80 other people that message me.
Right. Yeah.
So it really helps, though, to be a professional wrestler that you carpool with good people, because and train at a good school that can get you out places, because that's going to be one of the best ways for you to get other places is referrals. I'm not saying don't shark online. Still send out. Still go hunt for your stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the best thing to do is be a good guy in the locker room and get referrals. There's been a lot of people that have came into this company off of referrals. Like J-Rock has sent me multiple guys. Ren Jones, Jack Price, Bill Collier, who's TNA now, about to hopefully get signed by WWE.
Yeah, all solid guys.
I would have never reached out to them. I would have never, if Renner or Jack messaged me, I would have probably read it because of who they are, but I would never, be like, maybe I would have tossed it up. But when you have someone verifying for you that you're professional, you're a good worker, that's, the locker room trust, that's one of the fastest ways. It's not getting to the promoter. A lot of people do that, which is, still do that. It's being a good dude in the locker room and getting referrals and carpooling. And that'll take you further than just sending tons of messages out. A lot of people do that. It's the extras or the other things that you do that are getting people to refer you in.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my best piece of advice to any wrestler out there looking to work somewhere. Get referrals. Get your boy, get someone to plug in.
For you out there that are watching and listening, he just gave you the magic formula of how to get booked at EFW and then other companies. Just a little hint out there.
Yeah, promo pictures and good ones, and have your boy refer you to me. If I get someone that's already booked with me that says, hey, you should look at this guy, I'll look at him. Send me his profile page. I'll go look at my own.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting a good referral, and that's one of the best ways, man. Best ways. Be like you, if you went to West Virginia and worked, and you seen a guy, and you're like, dude, this guy's pretty jacked. He's got a good in-ring, vibe, great heel, great baby face. I'm now taking a look at him because you're putting your name on the neck for him.
Right.
You're saying, hey, we should bring this dude in, and that means more to me than Bob messaging me about his experience, and maybe I should book him. So, yeah.
That is one thing that I have learned is, if especially like working with like some veterans, if they're like, hey, like I work with that guy again, like that's like a big compliment.
A big compliment.
Some people just kind of like breeze over, and it's like, No, that's kind of like that's that veteran kind of putting a stamp on you.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, I'd work with that guy again. So like if he comes around or books around, like I would work with him. And that's something like I've learned like along the way, whether I've worked with people or not, or I've heard them like backstage like talk about that.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's kind of like a stamp of like approval, or like, hey, I vouch for that person.
Yeah.
So like I think you should bring him in, because if I would work with him, I would recommend him.
I mean,
deal.
I can't tell you how many. Who's originally from our roster still? That was with us. I mean, you have like Dios, Jerry, and them, but like, there's been so many people that I've booked or I don't want to say replaced, but I had to give up other people's bookings to because I got better talent. I got a car from Michigan now that comes in 4 guys deep, or Indiana and stuff like that. So I don't want to look like every other company where we're constantly booking all the same people. I'll book some of the locals, a lot of people I like, but I want all fresh faces with us, and that's coming through referrals right now. Like we have, the Dojo Wars with Josh.
Right.
Our head trainer is running his own show. We're giving him his own show, and that's to see what talent that me and Nick like and Josh to bring up to the big shows. The first Dojo Wars show, we just took 3 guys, and now they're on the prelim for Adrenaline.
That's
all
fantastic.
because they came into Dojo Wars, it worked, and I'd seen their work and was like, oh, I like these guys. These guys stand out. These guys do this differently. They're not from here. Mm-hmm. So no offense to other workers. If you're just here doing business, it's business. I gotta kind of give these other guys a shot once in a while. Not that I'm not gonna ever book you again, but
Yeah.
now they're gonna take a couple of your spots because they came in, they took a shot, and now the owner of the company's seen them, and the other owner of the company's seen them, Nick, and we both were like, yeah, dude, we like those guys. Those were great guys. Good talent. So let's bring them back in from out of state for a bigger show. And if they do good on Adrenaline, I'll bump them to a match on another show. So, we're going to, as you see, we're picking up shows. We're going to have more than enough space coming up soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just keep rotating stuff. That's how it works. Rotate your normal matches, keep your guys in your storylines, keep them going, and
but that's also like I don't want to say like a warning sign, but kind of like, hey, like, don't get complacent. Don't like get settled in, like, because there is fresh competition coming in. Like it is always a competition.
And what happens with basketball and football?
Yeah, like there's always talent out there.
There's a draft class always coming. Same thing with training classes. There's a training class always graduating. Whether it's us, another company, there's training classes constantly graduating. It's constantly kids coming out of college. You know what I'm saying? Like football, basketball.
Yeah.
So you got to stay on your stuff. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's about, again, who you know as well.
It is. It's about who you know. It's about like staying for the training. It's about learning, whether it's old matches or new matches, and so on. That's one thing I've kind of picked up on is in the locker room. You have like your top of the class. That's like top talent that most people kind of know of, and they're kind of doing their thing. And there's kind of like the middle tier, and then like there's other guys that I've seen or talked to in a few different promotions. They're like, hey, man, I'm just here just because I love the wrestle, and it's like that. I feel like that's great that you are here, but I think you have to have like higher aspirations. Like whether you're at that level yet, I still think you should like visualize to be at that level. Be like, you know what, like whether you're 6 months in or 5 years in or 8 years in, then you come into a company and you see like who's the top dog, who's the top talent, who's on the posters, who's getting talked about. And I feel like you should be like in the back of your mind, be like, you know what, I want a piece of that pie. Like I want to be with those guys. Like I want to be mentioned when you name off top talent of like, hey, who's going to sell the show? Who's going to be this? Like I feel like you should be striving for that. Not just come in and be like, yeah, cool. I came in and I wrestled for EFW and I put like a 5-minute match in, and like that's like yay. Well, I feel like you have to like.
That's the two sides of this business. So you're gonna get
have a mindset.
Yeah, you're gonna get people who do this as like a hobby for fun, which is cool. That's cool, man. Like awesome. You don't want to travel the world 280 days on the road with WWE. I get that, dude. It's a pain in the ass. Maybe you don't want to do that. Just like going to the rec and playing basketball, you want to do it for a hobby. Mm-hmm. But you can't get mad when someone who really wants this piece of the pie comes in and they take your spot. I book so many people who do this for a hobby. That's sweet. I know people that don't want to go on the road. I know the opposite. I know guys who are phenomenal, take this serious, and can't get booked for whatever reason.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't know if it's politics. Whatever. So I've seen both sides of the fence. And like you said, the mentality, if you want that piece of the pie and you're going to grind for it, you can't be mad if this is a hobby and someone like you comes in and takes their spot. You can't.
Right.
They can't be mad.
And it's not like it's nothing bad. Like
no.
Like you're not degrading or talking back to the top. You're just like, listen, like that's almost like a hey, I respect you, but I'm also competitive. Like I'm coming for you as well.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, like don't disregard me. Like I'm coming for you. And like when I talk to some people, like you can pick up on that, and then you can pick up people who are just like I said, like show up to the show, do the thing, and then
You're kicking it.
Yeah. And then they're gone.
Yeah.
And it's like
That's why we've always kept you backstage with anyone who is talent that around that can talk to you and teach you things, because you're on that level. When you first started, when Nick said you were a MMA guy, I already knew. I was like, if he could bump and get through the whole like this sucks part, because I'm not really getting punched in the face and I gotta fall and hurt myself.
yeah.
I was like, he's gonna be phenomenal. And then right out the gate, you came in, had no worries doing that, bumping around, and then you're natural in there. Some people have it, and as you can see, some people they're just lost. It's being a stuntman with dancing, with beating the hell out of yourself and trying to make someone look good.
Yeah, 100%. And that's like the biggest and hardest thing. That I'll talk to Nick about that too. Is being like, hey, I am a fighter. My job was to actually punch you in the face and do damage, and then all of a sudden you get in there and you're like,
I can't
I can't do that. I have to make it look like that, but like I can't actually do that.
Yeah. See, I don't know what that's like, because I'm the opposite. Like even when I train jiu-jitsu, like obviously you don't want to hurt your partner, but
Right.
like I'm like not trying to be stiff, you know. And like Darren's like, no, dude, like same thing. I can imagine what it's like for you, because you got the opposite. Like you said, you're not trying to put your fist through someone's face. You're like trying to pull your punch, and you're not used to that. You're used to trying to put your fist through someone's face.
Yeah,
like
I'm trying to knock you out.
it's
like,
the opposite here. You're like,
how do I look like that I'm trying to do that, but at the same time, like.
or if someone accidentally catches you in the ring, your reaction is to fire back, and you're like, oh, I can't right now. You accidentally caught. I'll give you a little bit of a receipt, but I can't just unload on you. You know? Yeah. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you make it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you at some point in time, like you kind of get that understanding of like your mind kind of switches a little bit of like, hey, this is what this is now. You know, just disregard anything like that. I mean, there's been a few times where I've kind of caught some shots, and like initially real quick, it's like, oh, you mother, like, okay, like, I'm gonna catch you. But then at the same time, it's like I also understand too, like in this sport and in this game, you gotta catch a couple of those.
It's not intentional.
It's not intentional. You can tell if something's intentional or something's like accidental.
Yeah.
You know, and like in the middle of like some matches, I've had people be like, hey, I'm sorry, like, are you okay? And it's like, yeah, dude, just keep it going. Like, keep it going.
So
like, we can talk about this afterwards.
I don't care what wrestler doesn't like this. It's the truth. A lot of guys will be afraid in there with you if they accidentally crack you. You're gonna get that real fast. If I'm sorry, especially if they know your fighting background, because they think you might really start shooting on them in there and taking advantage of it. Because there's ways to take advantage of guys and still make it look like a wrestling show, as you know.
Right. Yeah.
So there's be a lot of wrestlers out there that, even with Nick, you know, professional fighters, they know. They've seen Dan Severn and people wrestle and start laying in on someone because the guy actually hit him or tried to be too tough or something. So.
Oh yeah, there's I mean, there's highlights of like Brock Lesnar, like
actually look what he did to Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Right.
Look what he did.
He blasts him with that knee, or he hit people with elbows and punches, and you're like, ooh, yeah. That's not.
Yeah, like that's not.
Yeah.
That's not work. That's not work. He's shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
With you and Nick and any MMA guy coming into this business in the background, man, you don't want to piss you guys off. Don't piss you off. But it depends on how professional you want to be in that ring, which can also cost you jobs. Like if you just unload and beat someone's ass, the promoter might not book you again.
Oh, 100%.
Too much liability, you know. But
right, yeah,
it can still happen.
It can.
Yeah. Depending on what mood you're in, you could just like F wrestling and just beat someone's ass if you wanted to.
Right.
But I mean,
this is no longer a show. This is no longer entertainment. We've definitely crossed the threshold. But I mean, thus far, the talent that I've worked with have not crossed that line. Like, so they're apologetic about it. And it's more like
probably because they know better.
Could be to that, yeah, you know that too. But also at the same time, I'm like, this is what we signed up for. You know, it's like in football, like if I lay you out in the middle of the field,
we signed up for a dog.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is part of it, and that's the way that I look at that is.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. You're gonna let a punch or an elbow slip sometimes, or
you get busted. Might happen. Might bleed.
And it's like, yeah, dude, let's just go, man. This is what we signed up for. You know, and I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's some of the dumbest things too. Like when Vinny smashed cake in my face last year. You know, I called the spots thinking some simple cake in my face. You know, funny birthday spot, embarrassed myself. For those who don't watch us, I'm the owner of the company that very gladly embarrasses myself all the time. I ended up a black eye from that. I had a black eye from Vinny smashing me in the face with him. people don't know Vinny is a 400+ pound man.
Oh, right. And he wound up when he took that
Well,
kick
the
at
thing
that show.
is this is the part of wrestling that people don't understand about the show because you're not backstage hearing what's happening afterwards. When he went to go pick up the cake, it started slipping. So he had no choice to literally punch me with the cake. And if you go back and watch the video, you see me get hit and stumble and like grab the rope. That was not me acting. I caught the rope to not fall through it because I just got cracked in the face with what seemed like a punch for a second.
Yeah.
And I remember like trying to get the taste out of my mouth and nose that night. It wasn't happening. And I woke up the next day and I went to go take a shower and I woke up and I'm like, oh man, what the hell? Did I grind my teeth that night? Something? My jaw was hurting. I went and looked in the bathroom and I had a little shiner here. And I was like, there ain't no fucking way that I just got a black eye from cake. Like, I don't know if I should be pissed at Vinny or feel like a wuss right now. I was like, I don't know which one.
Yeah, right. A little bit of both.
I mean, yeah, but that's the reality of it. I can't get pissed at Vinny that he had to crack me because the cake was slipping. I would have been pissed if the cake slipped and the spot got blown.
Right, yeah.
So sometimes
and
you
he kind
gotta
of did like, like one
a
of
little,
these,
yeah,
like,
look
suckings,
stupid, you know? So, like, there's times, like you said, in this business where you're going to get cracked on accident or they might have to make it look kind of real, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Like, that ties in with, like, your finisher. Your Superman punch leaps above Roman Reigns because you're a real striker. So, like, when you throw it, you look like you're really throwing a strike that rocks someone compared to, like, a show strike.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I yell at Nick, too. It looks like he's laying his punches in too hard on people. He's like, oh, dude, I was fine. I'm like, you look like you cracked Vinny right there. I'm like, and he's like, no, it was okay a little bit, but it's all right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's Nick for you, for sure.
Yeah, I love Nick. Great guy, man.
He is.
Great guy.
He is. He'll be on the show here shortly. So I do look forward to talking to him and kind of like bring some of our history of like MMA and then now kind of crossing into the wrestling world and kind of hear like what he has to say about all that stuff as well.
Man. Good old EFW is what brought it around. Like I said, we just pretty much seen that the trademark logo, the EFW, that was like the original logo was free. And we're like, well, we don't want to call it extreme futuristic wrestling. Like that's kind of like real wussy, you know?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So
yeah.
we just like sitting here thinking, and then Darren Branch, black belt jiu-jitsu guy, a good buddy of mine, he loves professional wrestling, so I first met him. And we're just talking like like fighting. We're like, dude, why does wrestling look so fake? Like if I put you in a triangle choke, why can't I really put you in one but not hurt you? Like,
yeah,
train jiu-jitsu for a little bit. You make it look like a shoot without really doing it. You know, like
absolutely.
You're a fighter, you know. And we started talking about like, you know, weight classes or stuff like that, making it more like a fight team or like you have a fight camp kind of deal. And it kind of just snowballed into there. And that's where we came up with like the knockouts, the judges, like kind of make it more like fight based without making it look like a horrible Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler match in WrestleMania. That was I don't know what they told them to do out there, but that looked like a horrible fake MMA match. So we didn't want that. We don't want that. We still want professional wrestling.
Yeah.
But combine the aspect of fighting to give the fans something different.
Yes.
So
you guys have definitely achieved that.
I mean, I think it's cool. Like I've had a bunch of fans tell me, because you know how we do, like the fan's the third judge. Like we have two judges. Either the judges judge it one way, or if it's split, the fans are the third judge.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many like people have come up to me and told me it's such a cool concept because the crowd now gets involved in a match, and they get to control who wins the match. And usually, unless it's J-Rock one time, hopefully, they boo the bad guy, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
The only time that's ever almost bit me in the ass is with J-Rock because the whole city loves how good of a bad guy he is. So
he does play that part.
Yeah.
Extremely well.
Yeah, but just being different, dude. That's all it is. Just being different. That's it, man.
Staying in the lane.
Staying in the lane.
Staying in the lane.
Being different.
So speaking of EFW, if I'm not mistaken, show coming up?
January 30th. Yes, Adrenaline. In our training room. So we have about like a 70-person showroom. We do Adrenalines on Friday. Those usually sell out pretty fast. We try to get people to get their tickets. Like we've had to turn people away at the door. I hated that. It broke my heart. You know, kind of let them stand there in a sense, but to not be able to have a seat, it's a good thing for us, but it broke my heart. So at the same time, I'm telling people, get your tickets for Adrenaline on Fridays. January 30th, doors open at 7. Bell time will be at 8. You can purchase it on Triller Pay-Per-View Live.
Okay.
If for whatever reason you're not in Ohio or you can't make the show, you can still watch it live, full in production, pay-per-view. Yeah, January 30th, I mean, you're doing Dave for out there in January.
Yeah,
so
Premier Punishment will be there.
Come see Premier Punishment, and you got Vinny wrestling his last match. Vinny hurt his back really bad. He's got surgery.
I saw that video. That's
so I'm not too happy Vinny got a title shot out of it, but he's getting his title shot on the 30th against Ashton Day. Nick is back in action after wrestling Vinny. That loss was my fault. I'll take the blame for that. I cost Nick the match. So he's back in action with Kano. So they'll be tagging up against the Golden Boys. You guys have a very, very hard task in front of you with Crumbles and Defarge.
I saw that, yeah.
Good luck. This is probably one of your guys' biggest tests.
It is. The past two have been kind of easy and kind of like a nice little warm up, and this one's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little test for you there. So, you got Dios against Hightower. That's gonna be a phenomenal match.
Yes.
Two athletic, fast paced going guys. Even though Diaz gets on my nerves, I'm hoping for a good match between those two.
I think that's gonna be a very entertaining one. Like
Yeah.
I've already talked to Hightower a little bit, and again, he's another one that'll be on the show at a later time. But like him and I were messaging back and forth, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's gonna be a good one right there. Like I'm excited for that.
You got our recent graduate, Riley Santos.
Oh, okay, all right.
He's going against Miles Jacobs, one of the biggest good guys in our company.
A little honk honk action going on 30th.
Riley might get mentally messed up a little bit. We're going to see hearing all the cheers for someone else because Riley gets a lot of the cheers.
He does.
So we'll see how that messes with them. One of the biggest things I'm really excited for is one of our new students, Night Mage, as you know.
Yeah.
Mage has, besides you, probably been one of the fastest, if not the fastest person I've ever seen pick this business up. And just get it, man. Just get it. He's got an open challenge.
I've seen that. Has anybody reached out for that yet?
No.
No?
I don't know if people are afraid. I don't know if someone thinks they're going to be cute and just show up and try to surprise last minute. Night Mage is a big guy.
He is.
Very athletic guy, powerhouse. So I don't know if people are just worried. I mean, it's a risk. Imagine being a veteran. Imagine having a high ranking, you're a top 10 ranked contender for the belt. You take that risk and he beats you.
Right.
Is it worth that risk? Was it worth getting some notoriety out there? It's a big risk ahead, so we'll see.
It is.
Yeah, he's as the owner of the company, he's one of the guys I have my eye right now. We'll see.
He has it all. He definitely has the intangibles. He understands the entertainment aspect of it, and like you said, he's a big force, big monstrous force, and like the physicality of him inside the ring, like it's just like, boom, like. Did you just start like 2 months ago? Like
yeah,
how are you picking it up like
yeah.
this fast?
Mm-hmm.
With all due respect, Night Mage, like you're lucky that I'm in the middle of a take team match, or else I can take you up on that challenge. But I'm busy already, so I can give you props right now. But yeah, I've watched him train. I've watched him at the shows, and it's like, man, this dude's.
It's crazy that before someone's even graduated, he's getting his flowers with this business because of how fast he's picking it up.
Yes.
And that's, again, someone that's probably had a long, long passion and love for this and finally got the crack at it and just is a natural. Maybe Ronnie Rotten will be able to, maybe Ronnie Rotten will be able to buy you off their Night Mage and EFW bring in with.
Oh, come on, stop that already. Come on, stop that.
Everyone's got a price. Everyone's got a price, but no, it's January 30th. It's gonna be an awesome card. I'm pumped. I'm excited, and just everyone come show up, tune in, man. Come have fun. Full bar, full kitchen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Just like different wrestling show atmosphere, man. As you know, we have crowd interacts. We have fun. So I want people to have fun there.
Yes, and they definitely do that.
Yeah,
they definitely do. All right, so Justin, we'll go with the take-home question, which is what the podcast is all about.
Yeah, hit me with that.
It's the you versus you.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally like asking this to different people, and kind of finding out like what they're like when they wake up in the morning and they look in the mirror, what is their biggest hurdle? Like, what's your biggest you versus you hurdle that you face, or that could hold you back from doing the things that you want to do?
I think everyone goes through this in life. You have, and I'm actually normally a very positive guy, but a lot of the things that could take you away from focus is, and it's not just guys, women have it too, but depression, man, it's a very big distraction in life. It could drain the motivation all out of you. You have all the motivation blood you want, and it could just get sliced open. The blood comes flowing out. I think mental health is one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't talk about that can mess up your whole life, your financial standpoint, your motivation to, write a wrestling show, write comic books, write movies, like you do. I think if we learned how to handle depression, if we learned to reach out to friends, family, realize you actually do have people there for you, and learn how to just cope with it on your own. Whether you're listening to music, go take a hot shower, reset your brain. Even if you had to lie to yourself, tell you know what, I don't care. Today's going to be a good day, even though it's a bad day. I think that is one of the biggest things, and like I said, I'm not like a always depressed guy. I'm normally happy, but that is one of the biggest things. If I have a bad dream and in my sleep, or I get some bad news in the morning, that can mess up your whole day, mess up your whole week, your whole month, your whole year, depending on what it is.
Yeah, 100%.
I've been through situations where I've had to learn how to deal with that, and thank God that I've been able to come out of those situations. Thank God I've had a great circle and friends and family to help me pull me out of situations and tell me, no, like, you're getting up now,
Yeah, right.
I think we all need that in life, and sometimes you need to do that to yourself as well. You always need to baby and coddle yourself. Sometimes you got to be very realistic with yourself, and I think once you learn to accept that and learn to push yourself even harder, I think that's when you could kind of learn to battle yourself a little bit harder and learn to get yourself in more positive spaces that will keep you motivated and keep you just on track and keep you going harder than you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you do, is kind of push through this. That's your formula to kind of deal.
That's my formula. Like I said, this is something that we all deal with. No one gets away from depression. I don't care if you're rich, broke, poor. It's good. Someone's gonna hit you, and that's kind of my formula for it, man. I just take a step back, tell myself, no, absolutely not. You're not wasting a day of your life sitting here sad or mad. You can control the way you feel right now. You have the power to control the way you feel.
100%.
Even if someone made you feel a certain way, you have the way to control how they made you feel and not the rent space in your head. Same thing at home. You don't let bad things or things that make you sad rent space in your head, because they will ruin you. So get up. If it takes you a day, it might take you a week.
I feel like you can take some time to
take some time.
Take some time.
I'm not saying don't be a wuss and you got 10 minutes. No.
Right. Yeah.
But get your ass up. Go take a hot shower. Don't lay in bed all day.
Yes.
Go take a shower. Even if you got to force yourself to the gym, or force yourself to work on something that you do love. Or I play music. I'll play songs I love and jam it and just get focused. Same thing as an athlete would before the show or something. There's ways that different people handle depression or stress. And you got to find out the best way for you to handle it. Not through this, not through things. Do positive things for yourself.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's the way I handle it. That's the best way.
And I appreciate you hitting that, because I had a buddy of mine, and him and I were talking, and he'll be on the show down the road, but especially from like a guy's perspective, to be able to like open up like that and like talk about that, because again, like you know how guys are, like, oh dude, you're a wuss, man, like stop being a baby, and stop being a little bitch and stuff like that. And it's like you said, like, no, like we all go through it. Like we all deal with low points, in our lives. And like one of the examples that I use in life and with the MMA guys that I teach is, I was going through like a bad breakup, dude. I was like low. But and all I want to do was like lay on the couch. But I set my timer, and I was like, you know what? Like, you're gonna go work out this time. Yeah. Like, you're going to, okay, once you're working out, come home, get back on the couch, and then like, okay, 7:00, you got boxing practice, MMA practice, and like, you're gonna go back and go do that. Then you can come back, because again, like you said, like, to piggyback off what you were saying with that is, like, there's certain things that you can control. Like, you won't be able to control everything or what's causing you to do that, but you can still control, like, okay, listen, I know I still gotta do this thing and do this thing. I know I still have to make sure that I eat. I still gotta make sure that like I go and get my training in. Like I even took like a fight because I was in that low point, just to show the guys like, hey, listen, even though you're at the lowest of the low, you can still train for something. You can still switch gears and be in that low spot, but kind of use that as like, okay, I'm gonna focus towards this and still kind of get your ass up. And you're gonna
have days where you're sad. There's gonna be a couple, even like you said, when you come home from training, you might get a little bit of a feeling. But set that timer, man. Stay on track. Stay positive. wake up, say positive things to yourself. I started waking up and just telling myself, 5 things that I'm grateful for real quick. I look in the mirror and just thankful that I'm, awake, wake up. And I never really had that mindset until I went through a couple bad things with depression. I mean, we're buddies. You know that, I lost my stepson, and I've talked to you. I've reached out and talked to you about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't wake up 2 days later. It was okay. There's still days that I have right now that I missed the kid. That I'm out of his life. But again, something I can't control. And it took me, dude, over a year to finally, a year and a half to finally wake up. And one day, I woke up and it clicked. I just said, dude, you can't do this. Like, whether it's a woman or someone that upsets you or a loss, you can't let people do this to you. This is what they want. They want to see you lose. Or if it's someone that you lost, they don't want you feeling like this. They want you to, if you're going to carry on their memory, they want you to be positive as hell. Whether, if it's a girlfriend breaking up with you, be sad. Hey, I'm not allowing you to do this to me.
Yes.
You're not in my life no more.
Yeah.
I can control now what I can control. I couldn't control you breaking up with me. I couldn't control you leaving me.
Yes.
I can't control someone passing away or not being my friend no more, doing me wrong. But I can control the way I feel now. And they can't.
They can't. They're out. Like, they did out. Like, they left the arena to be able to do that. And it's funny you said it, because I do use certain things as, like, spite. And it's kind of like, okay, like, you want to bail out, you want to do this, you want to, like, whatever, hurt me or leave. And it's like, okay, just watch. Just watch. Like, you.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me.
Yes.
And then you're going to see where you messed up at.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. I feel you. But yeah. I'm with you when it comes to the stigma of, and this is no disrespect to females. I'm not trying to like women. There is a very high rate of men who take their lives, and it's because not a lot of guys reach out and talk to each other, or they feel like they can't talk to someone, or they'll be looked down on, or they just feel like they don't have no one. And as a man, I'm the complete opposite of that stigma. You need to reach out to your homies. You need to reach out to your circle. If you don't feel like you have it, go and reach out to someone. Call the number. Call the line.
Right. Yeah.
Something. But as a man, there's too many men that just take their own lives because of the stress of being a man.
Why? Again, don't quote me. I don't know the statistics, but from what I've seen online, like, the male suicide rate is, like, slowly skyrocketing and going, like, up and up and up and so on. And you're right. It's like, again, I know, like, guys judge guys and guys are harsh on guys, and there's nothing wrong with busting balls and doing this, but there's also, like, you can pull that person aside and be like, whether they take you up on that offer or not, and just be like, hey, dude, if you ever need me, shoot me a text, shoot me a call, whatever the case may be, like that.
No matter, yeah.
Just for people to know that like, that option is there is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Again, whether they take you up on that or not, just to know that, like, when you look in the mirror, like, okay, I'm gonna deal with it this particular way. But if I ever stumble, oh, dude, you know what? Like, Justin or whoever, like, reached out to me and said, like, okay, cool, like, and I'll reach out to them. And again, just to know that there's that option out there is huge. And to feel comfortable with that and know that you're not going to be judged, you're not going to be harsh, because again, like, dude, we all go through it.
Well,
everybody goes through it. The only difference is you may hide it better than I hide it.
Smile better.
Or vice versa, or whoever. But it's like, dude, we all go through our struggles, whether it's, like, financial, whether it's relationships, whether,
in your own self, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, everybody goes through it. It's just like, okay, all right, dude. Props to you, because you hide it better than I do. I got no problem being vocal about it.
I'm on the other side of it, though, where you don't talk about it a lot. Don't keep it in your mind. Don't talk about it nonstop, because it's going to stay there. Let it feel the way it feels. Get it out. Move on. Even if it comes back.
Yeah.
Let it, the way it feels, move on. Like, I have a good buddy, Eric. I'll wake up in the morning sometimes, and I still miss my stepson at times, But it doesn't affect my whole day no more. It'll affect, real quick, I'll message my buddy. He's been there for me a lot of conversations. He's like, yeah, dude, feel this. Have a great day, though, but don't do this. Like, I'm here for you. Sends me some stuff, whatever. Homie, reach out to a homie, and then within 10 minutes, you're good to go now.
That's
great. You felt the way you feel.
Yeah.
Good to go now. So I was very, like I said, very fortunate to have good parents growing up. My dad taught me a lot of things mentally. At a very young age, he taught me, and quote for quote, the world don't give a shit about you. They will hand you your ass. So
that's a good quote.
So be on your P's and Q's, man. You have your people who love you. You have your circle who loves you. Other than that, the world will hand you your ass. So, there's going to be stress. There's going to be depression, but you have those around you. Reach out to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be my biggest takeaway, man. It's just something everyone has. Depression, stress. And those ways to get through it.
Yeah, I love that. That's good. Right, Justin, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Nothing but success for you guys. I already know this is going to take off. I know it's going to grow. So I'm glad. I'm honored to be the first one on here. So
thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And if we had a drink, I would cheers to it. But
last question you asked me there made me drink all this real quick. Yeah, but no, man, I'm excited and can't wait to see what you do on the 30th.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Take care, brother.
Take it easy, brother.
You do the same.